good win. Thought it was a great night. Really appreciative of our fans who came, our students. To have that sort of crowd on an opening night was phenomenal. It was the work of a lot of people. When we got here, we started a group called Basketball 365. We've done it at other places we've been, where we try to focus on basketball and marketing basketball year round. And we sat in that first meeting, and there's about 9 of us in there, and 9 or 10 of us. And Reed Vial from my staff handles a lot of it. He's the one who sets the agenda. Brooke from marketing was in there. Craig and Annabelle from sports information. We had Brian, Bill, and John from Wolfpack Club and ticketing, and we had Patrick and Katie and Amy in there who also work in marketing and ticketing. And we all kind of looked at each other and like, how in the hell are we going to do this? And they did just a phenomenal job of pulling everything together, and Stephanie and her crew just did a great job. So very appreciative of them, very appreciative of our fans for coming out and making it a great atmosphere, and for our students as well. So happy with the way we played. I thought Darrion did a great job. You know, one thing, we were a little jittery, but that's what you want your senior, best player to do, is settle us in. And him hitting those 2 threes allowed us to settle in. Trey got off to a little bit of a slow start. Paul got off to a little bit of a slow start. And Darrion being able to make those shots and get us going as a senior leader, I thought that was really critical to us being able to settle into the game and have enough of a cushion where those other guys could relax and settle in, and then we could get going. So very pleased with how unselfish we were. 27 assists on 37 made baskets. We've got some things to clean up defensively. Certainly we were better at the back end of the press, but we still gave up a couple easy ones at the back end of the press. We messed up some Horns defense a few times, some roll and replace. We screwed up the X out a couple times. So there's some things we got to get cleaned up there. Our post defense, we weren't off to the ball enough. We should have picked off 3 or 4 passes, and we didn't. We got some fouls. So there's some things defensively we need to clean up. But I was very proud of how we moved the ball and how we played overall. We played with much more of an edge than we did last week. And we've got to turn the page quickly. We've got a much different opportunity with UAB coming here, a team that's had a bunch of postseason success in the NCAA tournament and NIT, and so we've got to learn from this and then get ready to go on Friday against a good UAB team.
Well, Darrion, you mentioned the scoring from him, but also finished with a team lead and with 8 assists in this game. Just your thoughts on what he brings to this team as a whole, not just as a scorer as well.
I mean, he does everything. He's a great player. I mean, he's a well-rounded player. 19 points, 8 assists, 1 turnover. The 1 turnover was in transition when it was the right play. Our guy just tripped. So he's just a really, really good player, good leader. It was important. I wanted to make sure he was calm. Me and him went to breakfast this morning, just me and him, and just to make sure that, like, look, you don't have to be Superman for us, but he was tonight. I said, look, we just need to hit singles and doubles. We don't have to hit home runs all the time. And he was really, really steady. And I thought, especially at the beginning of the game, he was able to get us going, and he makes the right play and gets other guys going after he gets going. He's just a really, really good player. He's a great person. But he's just a really, really good player, and happy he's with the Pack.
And first college game for Matt Abel. He finishes with double digits in the second half alone. Just what did you see from him tonight, and how good is it for him to get that confidence this early in the season?
Yeah, I thought Matt was good. One of the biggest things, he was much improved defensively tonight. I was really proud of his defensive focus, his defensive effort. He had the steal and the dunk. He was better with picking his spots to gamble, and so he's going to be a great player. I mean, he was awesome tonight, but I think by middle of January, he's going to be one of the best players in the country, one of the best freshmen in the country for sure. He's just going to keep getting better. So it was great for us to be able to play him extended minutes tonight. He just needs minutes. Terrence needs some of the same thing, but his Achilles was bothering him, so we didn't want to risk putting him back in. We didn't want to risk putting him back in. And we'd have played Musa more. He needs minutes too. But obviously the foul trouble. He's adjusting. This isn't FIBA where they let you just body check everybody all the time. So, he's adjusting to that. But Really, really proud of Matt. He works really hard. He's a great player. He's a great teammate, and I thought he did a nice job tonight.
Well, I asked the players, and they said it didn't quite feel like Christmas morning until they really walked out. How are you feeling, leading up to tip-off? And did the game meet or exceed kind of all of the environmental expectations?
I mean, I think, look, we're pretty routine oriented, so I do the same thing every game day. I do the same thing at the same hour almost every minute of every day. So you just focus on that. It's not really, you try not to get ahead of yourself. We need to have a good film session. Our guys were really locked in. We give a quiz on the scouting report. Our guys did really well on the quiz today before shoot around. We needed a good shoot around. Then we had to have everybody in here for pregame meal, and we did some final preparation at pregame meal. And then you go to the stretching, and then you go to the activation lift, and you go to so it's just one thing after another. So you just stay focused on all of that, and all that stuff has to be done right to give us the opportunity to play right. And so, I thought the atmosphere was phenomenal, and our fans were great. Our students were awesome. The students bring a ton of energy and a ton of juice, and they were great. Our pep band's good. It's huge. So the pep band's great. So we just got good energy in the building, and credit to our guys. You have to embrace that. You have to be able to use that and channel it in a proper way, and I thought we've channeled it for the good of the team tonight, so I was very pleased with that.
You mentioned energy, and how much does your team feed off the energy you bring in the game? It doesn't matter the score, it seems like you're going to be the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the last 3.5 minutes we let some stuff slip. I know we had some guys out there, but that we can't foul like that and just give up a bunch of points at the free throw line. But look, we got to play to a certain standard. We've got to play to our identity, the entire time, and so, we're not very forgiving on that sort of thing, and they're all very aware of, what I think and how I feel, but I thought our guys did overall for about 36 minutes. It was a good night.
Were you upset being up 50, or are you just excited to see Tony Henderson again working one of your games, getting the purpose technical there? That wasn't for tonight, right?
Well, we had Tony in the NCAA tournament. I was at McNeese last year, but he's a good official. He's a really good ACC, SEC official. We had him in the SEC, then he moved to ACC primary. So he's a good official. We'll probably see him 7 times this year, but he's a very very good official. And I was a little frustrated. It's Moose's 5th foul. I thought we could have maybe let that go and played for somebody else. But they did a good job tonight. The officiating crew was good.
Will, earlier in the season, you talked about Paul McNeil and how you wanted to utilize him more. He kind of had a slow first half, but kind of caught fire in the second half. Can you speak on him and his development?
Yeah, I thought that was real progress for him. Like I said, he kind of got off to a slow start, but he was able to get in the swing of the game and get in the swing of things because Darrion got us going. And then, if we can leave Paul in there and he can stay in there, he's going to have a barrage where he hits 2 or 3 in a couple minutes. That's just what he does and who he is, and we go right back to him after he hits one. And he got fouled in the corner, went over there, and so we believe in him. He's a great player and an elite shooter. I think he'll be one of the elite shooters in the country, and so we have a strong belief in him, and we're going to keep putting him out there, and he's going to nail them more often than not.
It seems like connectivity is a big thing with you guys, not just within the team, but with the community, with the fan base and such. The uniforms today everybody was really excited about that, obviously. If you don't mind, so just speak to that. And do you feel like honoring the lineage is part of that connectivity?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we've got the uniforms. That was part of the 365 group I was telling you about. Reed kind of spearheaded that. There's some guy that hits Reed. He told me about it. Some guy hits Reed every morning on Twitter since we've gotten the job about wearing these uniforms. So hopefully he'll stop hitting Reed now, whoever that guy is. I think that, look, the noise, there was some stuff that we wanted to be careful in picking the right stuff to honor the past. And that was a lot of the discussion in some of those meetings, was making sure that we pick stuff that can tie some of our fans together, because now you've got folks who grew up in that era who now have kids, and we want those kids to be able to experience some of the same things that their parents experienced. Instead of just hearing stories, they can see it. Now the noise meter is a little different here than it is at Reynolds, But it's the same type thing. And look, we're not going to wear those jerseys every home game, but I think it's important that we do wear them and our guys understand. We've had somebody from each different era the last month speak to our team every week to talk about the history of NC State basketball, what NC State basketball is about. And I think that it's important to have an understanding of that, because, I tell our guys all the time, we drink from a good well, but don't forget there's a lot of people that dug it. There's a lot of hard work that went into making this program what it is. There's a lot of hard people that dug that well, and we're drinking pretty good water right now. So let's not forget that. Let's tie into the past. I mean, shoot, we won a lot of championships in the past. I don't know why we wouldn't want to bring those memories back. That seems kind of dumb to me that you wouldn't want to do that. So, we've tried to honor the right stuff. I think that's been the where we've been kind of towing the line there. But yeah, it's great to connect with our fans. And look, it's all of us together. It's not the Will Wade Wolfpack. It's not the Darrion Williams Wolfpack. It's the NC State Wolfpack. The NC State Wolfpack is our students, our fans, our administration, our team. It's all of us together. And I think that some of these things, bond everybody together a little bit.
Coach, your bench showed some promising signs with guys like Jerry and Matt and Musa. What do you see in this bench?
Yeah, we've got a lot of firepower on the bench. I was really proud of Jerry. He really had a good week of practice after South Carolina. He didn't play up to his standards against South Carolina, and I thought he really had a good week of practice, and I was proud to see him rewarded. He got some really good two-handed traffic rebounds, above the rim rebounds. That was something we've really challenged him on. He obviously made some threes. He got a couple layups on a couple slip actions against the zone. So very, very pleased with him. Matt, like I said, he's going to keep coming along. And Musa just needs time. Musa's going to be a really good player. There's 2 or 3 rebounds. He's the only guy on either team that could go get them that he went and got tonight. And so he's going to be really, really good with time. And we just got to get him. We just got to continue to get him up to speed on things.
Coach, you guys shot 43s, made 19. You were above 50% for most of the night. Is that how you need this team to play? Is that how you want this team to play? Is 40 the right number of threes, or is that too low?
That's probably a little bit. I mean, look, it's based on what they're going to give you. We got a good shooting team. I mean, they played a bunch of zone tonight. They started off in zone for most. They played almost exclusively 2-3 zone the first half, and the second half they played a 1-3-1 for most of the time, and then about the last 8 minutes they played man. So. Look, we're going to take what they give us. We got a good shooting team, and we got pretty good inside-out open looks from 3. We took some bad ones at the end, trying to chase the number, to get the 19. We took some pretty bad ones at the end, but glad for Snell to hit that one to get us to. He's going to be in the history books now. We'll never hear the end of it from him, but no, it was good for Snell. He's one of our team captains, him and Vin. But I thought. Most of them were good looks. I mean, most nights we're going to shoot somewhere between 30 and 35. This was probably on the higher end of what we'll shoot. But, look, we got good shooters. We're going to let that thing fly. They're open. I mean, we don't want any hesitation. Let it fly.
Coach, from the way in which you interacted with the fans to getting attacked while up 50-plus points, how do you think that feistiness and that tenacity has impacted your team so far?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask the guys, but look, we got to be who we are the whole time. You can't. If you relax, like you got to understand that these type games is tough too. What we talk about, we're all sitting in here because we had 27 assists on 37 made baskets. You got to understand, you're in that type game, and you have a guy who drives it in there and throws up some BS shot, and he's got 2 people open from 3. That can screw your team up after the game. So, you have to play to the standard. You have to make sure everybody keeps doing what they're supposed to do. And, the technical as much as anything was look, I'm still fighting. I'm still here. I'm still paying attention to everything. That's how we have to be, because you can get way too loose in that, and it can create problems within your team when you're loose in those situations. And so we wanted to make sure we kept playing the right way. We played to our standards for 40 minutes. I thought we did it for about 36. We've got some work to do there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Al.